Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Well, the first edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the one where I am going to attempt today's Times Cryptic crossword for you live on screen. Let's have a look at the stats. I've already checked the snitch rating, and the snitch rating is very high, which means this is going to be a hard puzzle. The snitch rating being, of course, the unofficial way of measuring the difficulty of a Times crossword. If you've never come across the snitch rating, just type it into Google and all will be revealed. So there are some names here I recognise. John McCabe in there at 5 minutes 26, which would suggest this isn't a very difficult puzzle. The rest of the people in the top 6 are all so-called neutrinos, people who are typists. They solve it on paper and then type the answers in. That has been statistically proven, believe it or not. Aphis99 is Andrew Fisher. That's real. Jason James is real. I think all the rest of them are real, but you can see there's quite a big gap there. So probably the about the 5th best real time is well over 10 minutes. So it's clearly a very hard puzzle, this one. And anyway, right, there's just a couple of things I wanted to mention before we kick off today. I wanted to wish George a very happy birthday over there in Sydney, Australia. Your wife Adele wrote to us, George, and said that you might appreciate a shout out. I think you enjoy these videos. So, well, thank you for watching them. We do appreciate that. And I understand the two of you are golf enthusiasts. And actually, I was meant to start this video half an hour ago, but that got me thinking. I have played golf in Sydney. I think I played Royal Sydney once upon a time with a distant relative of mine, Tim, who almost certainly doesn't watch these videos. But Tim, if you're watching, I remember that round very well. I remember the holes very well, even if I can't remember quite. I'm pretty sure it was Royal Sydney. Yeah, it brought back memories. So I then went off on a Facebook trail. So, George, anyway, that's all by the by. Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you get some great chocolate cake today. And I'm also going to say a very happy birthday to my sister's husband, Mark, a man of quite remarkable forbearance. And Mark, I hope you have a great birthday as well. I know you watch these videos on occasion, so maybe you'll watch this one and get a surprise. And apart from that, nothing else to say. If you do enjoy these videos, please try to remember to like them. Click that button thing or subscribe. We're trying to train the algorithm a bit better about crossword videos. It never seems to work, but any help that you can give us would be really, really appreciated. And with that said and done, let me get cracking. Have I got my I've got my dictionary, I think. Yeah, I've got my dictionary. And it's in the right place. That's marvellous. So, here we go. Let's get cracking. And one across. Cardinal, no saint, needing drink. Quite a good surface. A cardinal who isn't a saint needs a drink. Cardinal. Cardinal is the colour red, isn't it? Cardinal can also be sort of a cardinal number. Needing drink, thirsty. I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. Let's try. Should we try one down? Okay. I haven't got this yet, but I do think I know how it works. So let's read the clue. Short-term tenant in trouble with IRS. Again, a very good surface. And remember, these clues always include a sort of synonym of the answer. A quick crossword definition might be a good way of describing it. So if you're good at quick crosswords, it should just be a matter of practice to be very good at cryptic crosswords. And the trick is to be able to divide the clue into pieces, because we have to find the definition, the quick crossword definition, and then the rest of the clue is going to be wordplay, which might be anagrams, it might be homophones, it could be lots of other things, but the rest of the clue is just extra clues to the answer. Now, the quick crossword definition is almost always at the start or end of the clue, and here we're looking for a word that means short term. And the way I realised that is the rest of the clue is shouting wordplay to me, because tenant in trouble with, well, if letters are in trouble, they're sort of agitated. and therefore that feels like an anagram indicator. And the fact we've got this IRS at the end of the clue, that screams a bit, oh, the constructor really needed the letters IR and S. And I can see that tenant plus IRS gives me 9 letters, so it gives me the anagram fodder that I suspect I'm looking for. So transient is the answer, isn't it? Short term. It feels like it's got about the right letters. So transient will go in there. Now that ought to be real. So thirsty would fit again. Needing drink. Oh no, it wouldn't fit. Sorry, no, it wouldn't fit. Thirst would fit. Cardinal. Cardinal. Oh, I see. Right. What about? So I said that a cardinal could indicate a number. Now, a cardinal number is just the name of a number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as opposed to an ordinal number, which would be first, second, third, etc. Now, if we think about thirsty, which has been in my brain, is there a number that sort of has, feels a bit like the word thirsty? Well, let's knock out the S. And don't I get 30? So I think the way we have to sort of cut this clue is after the word cardinal, and then the rest of it, no saint needing drink, is meant to be read as, if you're needing a drink, you are thirsty. And if the word thirsty has no saint in it, then it would remove the letter S. Now this is a bit tricky because actually S is an abbreviation for saint, and again it bears repetition. Sorry, I say this every week. It bears repetition, but you can't just abbreviate any word in a cryptic crossword clue to its initial. Some people think that is a rule. No. It must be a supported definition in a recognised dictionary, and the dictionary the Times uses is Chambers Dictionary. So now this version of Chambers is slightly old, so some common abbreviations or some abbreviations that are used are not listed. One of those is small. I don't think you'll find S is small in this one, but it is, on T-shirt labels we would all be familiar with what an S meant. But I was going to look for saint. Did I just gloss over it? And I wanted to explain. Yeah, there it is. I wanted to explain why this is tricky, because actually, in my opinion, it is far more common in a cryptic crossword to see saint, if it's used in a clue, being the abbreviation ST, which presumably we're all familiar with there, saint. But here it's not. It's actually just the letter S. And that's even trickier when you consider thirsty has got an ST in it. But anyway, it's certainly justified. This answer is just tricky. Let's try 9 across. Knockback. Roll filled with cold ham. Okay. Yes, I have got this. Okay. It's a very good clue as well, because if you read the clue and you're not used to the devious minds of cryptic crossword constructors, you will conjure up an image in your mind of a roll filled with ham and food. The answer has absolutely nothing to do with food, and indeed the wordplay has absolutely nothing to do with food. So this is a great example of how misleading these clues can be. And the way I solved this quickly actually was from the word ham, and I am familiar that ham, especially in cryptic crosswords, has a commonly used sort of synonym, which isn't to do with food. And if you referred to an actor as being a ham, what would you be describing? You'd be saying that they overact, wouldn't you? They're not very good at acting. So see the question mark at the end of the clue? That can be used in cryptic clues to say what we're looking for is ham is an example of the type of thing that is the answer. So I'm trying to think of a good second word. Maiden question mark. Now a maiden is is a type of cricket over. It's an over where no runs are scored. Not all overs are maidens, but maiden would be an example of a type of over. So if maiden ? The answer could be over. And why is this actor? Well, let's look back. Knock back roll. Okay, well this is an across clue. If you knock something backwards, you reverse its order. Filled with cold. Well, if you saw C on a tap or faucet, if you're watching this from America, you would know instantly it meant that's the cold tap, wouldn't you? So cold can be abbreviated to C. That's this C in the clue. A roll is a rotor, and if we reverse rotor and put the C inside, we fill it with the C, we get actor. So that is how this clue, I think, works. Now, should we, let's try 2 down. What acts as a connection is time. Oh, okay, I've got this. This is a very unusual word. Yeah, again, I mean, I don't really know how to even explain how I could get this one quickly, but it's because I've seen this word before, and I guess at some subconscious level, my brain looks at this clue and it just happens to snip it in the right position. So I read it as what acts as a connection? Cut. That's the definition. Then the wordplay is time, hours add up. Now, these clues very often can be thought of as mathematical equations, where, for example, in this clue, x equals a word plus another word reverse type thing. But the key to solving this is the word is. Now, is could be used as an equal sign. So we're saying that what acts as a connection equals time, hours, and add up. But is can also be plain. This may be the very reason my brain went here was because I had an I at the start of the clue. But if is just there, all of a sudden, how many words do you know that fit this construction? I know one, I think, and it is the word isthmus, which is a strip of land that sort of connects to an island, isn't it? In fact, I'm probably misleading you on the definition, but that's how I sort of think of it. A narrow neck of land connecting two larger portions. So I wasn't too far away. And how does it work? So what acts as a connection is the definition. The answer is isthmus. Is time can be abbreviated to T, Newton's laws of motion, V equals U plus AT, etc. Hours, that can be abbreviated to H. And add, if you add something, you sum it. And this is a down clue, so add up is a reversal of the word sum to give us mus at the end. So isthmus goes in. And let's go on to 3 down. So, cast can read out aloud. Cast can read out loud. I mean, this must be, I'm thinking this is a homophone of some sort. If you see any reference in a cryptic crossword clue to somebody hearing something, or something being read out loud, or caught as in heard, then very often what you're looking for is a homophone. So I think this is thrown. That is the answer. It's a rude. Okay, so the answer is thrown. If you cast a ball in the past tense, it was thrown. Now, how is this a homophone? Well, we need to think of an unusual meaning of the word can. A can, I think, can be a toilet, and a toilet can euphemistically be referred to as a throne. I really hope that my brain hasn't misled you here. Throne, obviously, let's assume I'm right. We'll check it in a minute. But throne, Throne, would be how that was spelt. But it sounds exactly the same as Thrown, which is a word which means cast. So these clues, one thing that you have to be very careful of with a homophone, especially if the homophone is the same length as the answer, is to make sure, in this, for example, in this clue, we must make sure that we're putting in what is defined, what we need to equal, which is the word cast here, because it is the can that's being read out. So just take care. Now, let's see if any of that was absolute nonsense. I really hope not. So can lavatory. So that looks good, doesn't it? And is a throne a lavatory? Okay, so I wasn't misleading you. There we go. Some toilet humour there. That was this. Somewhere 11 across. Well, there you go. Okay. Home sewer burst in an unidentified location. Well, if you haven't done any of cryptic crosswords before, this is a great clue. It's a great clue to try and understand why. Can you see why somewhere is the answer? So, if a clue is an anagram, the constructor must tell you it's an anagram. Now, they don't have to tell you by sort of saying anagram the letters home sewer. They're never going to say that. But they still have to use words that tell you to shuffle letters about, or to explode letters, or to mix them. And home sewer burst. So if the letters home sewer burst, they would pop, wouldn't they? They would go all over the place. So burst is the anagram indicator. The letters home sewer are what we need to anagram. And if something is in an unidentified location, it is somewhere. Now, what's this? Elsa? East. Like to ogle, cut sandwiches, and a piece of cake. If something's a piece of cake, not only would it be tasty, but it would be easy, wouldn't it? So why is it easy? I haven't quite worked that out. That like to ogle, cut sandwiches, and a piece of cake. So this is let's just take easy out for a moment. Let's just talk about this, because there are several words that fit here. And if I was guessing and I was doing this at speed, I would write easy in at this point, because it feels to me like that's the answer. But it's certainly possible that there is another word here that's better. And this is why it is so important to try and understand the wordplay. Like to ogle, cut sandwiches. You see, sandwiches is a funny word, because if something is sandwiched, it's sort of inside something, isn't it? Oh, okay. God, I mean, that is it's a brilliant construction, but it's quite an interesting clue in terms of speed solving. So we've got the Times Crossword Championship coming up, when you have to go quickly. And the minute or so I've just taken up parsing this clue, making sure the answer is easy, is not really time you can afford to spend. But if you don't spend it here, I do think it would be very hard to see why this is the answer so far. To be sure it was the answer. Let me explain how it works. Like. Can we think of a very short synonym for the word like? If something is like something, it's as it, isn't it? So this as is this word like. And then to ogle, if you ogle somebody, you eye them, E-Y-E. Now, if you cut the word for ogle, so if we cut the word E-Y-E, and remove its last letter, we just get E-Y. And that word has sandwiched the word like. It has... the letters E and Y are the crusts of the sandwich for the word, for the filling, which is as. That is how that works. So like to ogle cut sandwiches is, it's exquisitely worded. It is a beautifully worded clue, but that is very hard. It's very hard, I think, to see why that's easy. It's certainly not easy as a piece of crossword construction, but it is very clever. Let's try 18 across. Okay, I don't know what this is yet, but my photo turned out. Okay, turned out implies, if you turn out a drawer, you sort of throw its contents everywhere, wouldn't you? So could this be an anagram? Or it might not be, actually. Grainier with a mobile imaging technique. MRI? My photo turned out grainier. See, actually, I'm now wondering if it's an anagram of grainy. No, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Grainier. I don't know. I suspect this is a mobile imaging technique. I don't know. CAT scans, MRI scans. I just don't know that. I think I'm going to need some checking letters to help me there. Let's try 8 down. Court in support over proposed US constitutional amendment and the like, etc. And the like defines etc. etc., which, if we spell it out, is spelled like that. So that might be right. Court in support. Oh, okay. I understand the first bit of this. So court can be abbreviated to CT. Let's have a look at that. Oh. That's okay. Well, that's ridiculous. That word. If that turns out to be the answer to this one, it's going to be, isn't it? That's ridiculous. I'm so sorry, but that's not my fault. I put CT in. I was trying to, and then I was looking through to look for court, and I saw tomography, and I was thinking, hang on, that's got a lot of the stuff in it I was thinking about for that other clue. It's going to be right for the other clue. Anyway, well, there's court. Here we go. So let's stick with this one and try and forget we ever saw the word tomography under CT here. That's so lucky. Anyway, court is CT. In support over... Well, support, believe it or not, this comes up quite a lot. If you're a golfer, you'll be familiar with a support you might use at certain points. When you're about to drive off, you would put the ball on a tee, and that tee is a support. So it comes up all the time because it's a short synonym with useful letters. So court, CT, in support, so we put CT in the word T, and that's over, so this is a down clue, and that gives us ETCET. Now how does the era part? Oh, proposed US constitutional... Oh, I've got no idea. Proposed US constitutional amendment. Something act, is that? Is the ERA a famous constitutional amendment that's proposed at the moment? Environmental Regulatory Act or something? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it won't be in the old version of Chambers I've got. Let's have a look. Equal Rights Amendment. I wonder if that's... So has the Equal Rights Amendment still not gone through? Because, I mean, this version of Chambers is like 20 years old or something. So that's weird if it's still proposed at this point. Anyway, it's ERA, isn't it? That must be right. And then and the like is etc. All right, let's try 10 across. In the trunk area. The trunk is the torso. I'm wondering if that has something to do with this. Red blazer is snug, restricting one in everything. Oh, goodness me. In the trunk area. Tail? Is the trunk of a car its tail in America? Red blazer. A red blazer might be the sun. Is snug. Restricting one in everything. I don't know, that's an intriguing clue. There is a lot going on in there, and I think we're going to have to get some letters. Inside measurement is key for collar. I haven't got this one either. I'm wondering, I mean, what my brain has gone to this word, which I don't think is a word. I think it's just a collection of nonsense. But I was looking at the word inside. Now, in every Times crossword, and almost every one, there is a hidden answer, which is hidden inside some of the words of the clue. So inside the string of letters, measurement is key, I can see spelt out tiski. And I'm wondering if that's some old word for a collar. But I definitely wouldn't put that in. I mean, if this turned out to be a T and that could be an S, then I'm happy to consider it. But anyway, let's try 4 across. Let's see if we could. No, plants beginning feels like a P, doesn't it? To hold strike with fear for marine plant. Seaweed. Plants beginning. To hold strike with fear for marine plant. Okay. Yeah, it is seaweed, but it was I was getting obsessed with plants beginning being the beginning of the word plant. But if we think about it slightly more laterally, the beginning of a plant, what does a plant grow from? It grows from a seed. And then all of a sudden, the thought of seaweed is becoming far more persuasive, isn't it? So if we put seed, plants beginning, holds a word which means strike with fear, well, that's the word or, then we do get seaweed, which is the marine plant we first thought of. So tiski is total nonsense. Inside measurement is key for collar. If you collar somebody, you arrest them. Oh, come on, Simon. What is this? Inside measurement. So I think what we need here... Oh, size. Oh, C's then. Yes, okay. So is it this? The measurement of something is its size. I'm never very good at spelling C's. No, that doesn't look right. I think it is this way around. It is a key. Well, a key is probably in crosswords going to be a musical key. So A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. So E, I think, here. So I think it's size with E in the middle. And if you seize somebody, you collar them. And that would give us... So tail again. In the trunk area, red blazer. I don't know. That's an intriguing set of words to be strung together in a sentence. Let's try 5 down. Exhausted, all in. Learner, coming in to land very well. All clear. Coming in to land very well. Exhausted. Learner coming in. All right. Yeah. Or is it? Hang on. I thought I had a way of justifying. Yes, to alight is to land. Yeah, goodness me. I mean, this is a good puzzle. It's a good puzzle, but it's not easy. This is all right. And the way I got that was focusing on the parts of the clue that I suspected were wordplay. So I had this idea that if you're exhausted, you're sort of weary, you're all in. So that was where my brain was at the start. And then learner coming in suggested, well, if you see an L plate on a car, you'd know it meant learner driver. So learner can be abbreviated to L. So I was thinking L coming in, I need to put L in something. And then I was sort of trying to work out, well, what could be very well here? And I thought of all clear, and then I thought of all right at some point. And then I was thinking, well, if a learner is exhausted, if something is exhausted, it sort of has the heart taken out of it. And I was then thinking, okay, all right has LR in it. So if I take the heart out of the word learner, I get LR. And then that comes in for a word to land. Now, if you land somewhere, if a ship lands, it alights, doesn't it? So it's very difficult, but it's LR in alight, and the whole thing means very well, all right. So tail light? Oh, that could be right. It's not the sun, but in the trunk area of the car, which is the back of the car, a red blazer could be a light, couldn't it? Your tail light. So why is this? Is snug tight? If something's snug, it's tight. Restricting one. This. One is the Roman numeral for the number I. What? That sentence is Yoderish and total nonsense. That's really weird, the way that sentence came out of my brain. No, I is the Roman numeral for the number 1. So I in all, for everything. All inside, all restricted by. Tight for snug gives tail light. Right, okay, but the thing. Oh, well, two things now occurring to me. Firstly, this constructor is quite devious indeed. Secondly, I've got a Z in the puzzle here, and I'm wondering if you ever get a Z or a J or an X in a puzzle. X is perhaps less. Or Q, for example, is another good one. Is this a pangram? It's one thing I'm thinking now. So I'm on the lookout for unusual letters. Pangram being a puzzle that contains all of the letters of the alphabet once each. Now, there was a puzzle. Did I do it on the channel years ago? I want to say it was a triple pangram. But I might be wrong. It might even have been a quadruple pangram. So it was something so absurd. Anyway, I've forgotten. 6 down. Female workers implicated. Oh, look at that. So such a good. Look at the surface again. Female workers implicated in Watergate scandal. How can that be a cryptic clue? Female workers implicated in Watergate scandal. I don't know. That's intriguing. Oh, okay. Well, it is intriguing unless there is a word ergates. You know, ergate, is that if they were sort of female worker bees or something? Ergates. Erg does mean to work, doesn't it? Erg, because if you row on the machine, it's called an erg. Erg is a measure of work. I like that. I don't know that word, but I wonder. So this is a hidden. It's implicated in is saying, look in the letters of Watergate scandal, and you can see spelt out there, ergates, this string of letters. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm not going to look it up because if I get confirmation of these checking letters, I will look it up then because I'll be confident it's correct. But it's cheating to look it up now because it might be wrong. 7 down. Extremist papers served up. Well, okay, let's stop there because this comes up a lot more than you might think. Papers in cryptic crosswords. If you said to somebody, show me your papers, what would you be saying? You'd be saying, show me your identification, your ID. So papers served up, I suspect, is that a reversal of ID? The ID is served up, it's reversed in a down clue. The same thing, extremist. So I think this is going to be the word for an extremist. The same thing. Oh, well, no, hang on. Ditto. Okay, no, I was wrong. It's extremist is over the top. OTT. So it's OTT and ID, and that is all served up. It's all reversed, and then the same thing is ditto. So is this intro then? Yeah, it looks like it's scored opening. So scored here is trying to make you think of scoring a goal. You scored the opening goal. But it's not. On a musical score, the opening would be an intro. And then runs are... That's from cricket scoring, so R can be an abbreviation for runs, and into, the word into has covered the word, the abbreviation for R. So look, we've done quite well. Some of those were quite tricky, and we've done the top half of the grid. Now let's try 14 across. Traditional gear was in the van. The person driving starts off jerkily. Person driving what? Traditional gear. Oh, well, I've got this then. I've got this by thinking of, do I know any synonyms for traditional gear? And as somebody who's been to Oktoberfest many times in a former life, lederhosen, which I never wore myself, but was commonly seen in the beer halls of Munich. That's certainly traditional gear. If you're in the van, it's good, isn't it? Traditional gear was in the van. It suggests that in a van outside you've got your traditional gear. But no, in the van is literally means in the front. The vanguard, you might have heard. The vanguard, you're in the front. So the van is if you're in the van, you led. The person driving starts off jerkily. I feel like this is this an anagram? That's very clever. Yeah, okay. That's so. This is superb. This is a superb puzzle. The surface readings of these clues. These are exquisitely done. Okay. The person. So how we have to read this is take the words the and person and drive the starts off those words. So if we drive the starts off, what would we be left with? In the word the, we'd be left with H and E, and in the word person, you'd be left with ERSON, and you treat those remaining letters jerkily. You anagram them. And that, I think, gives you the letters you need to create ER Hosen at the end of lead. Wow, okay. I'm becoming more and more impressed with this. 15 down. One quickly passes on. Ephemeral or something? I don't know. First show of Edinburgh Fringe after parking takes an age. One quickly passes on first show. So again, the surface. One quickly passes on first show of Edinburgh Fringe. The Edinburgh Fringe being a festival in Edinburgh where they have lots of comedy and things. After parking takes an age. I don't know. I want this to be of this sort. One quickly passes on. Ephemera. I don't think that would be... The grammar of the clue suggests it's a singular thing, doesn't it? One quickly passes on. I'm not sure what that is. Don't know. Let's try 16 down. One proposing to get married in a prominent landmark south of New Orleans originally. I mean, one proposing to get married. I mean, that seems like it could be the definition, but I don't know. Can't think of what a 9-letter word beginning with N could be in that context. One proposing. I mean, south of New Orleans originally. Let's deal with that part of the clue. That must be wordplay. And this is a down clue. So south of something means below it. New Orleans initially, that seems like NO, the initial letters of the words New and Orleans. So south of that, we need to put maybe M for married. So maybe it's nominator or something. There, nominator might be better. Nominator. Okay, so it's not one proposing to get married, it's one proposing. So one proposing would be a nominator, somebody who nominates somebody for a role. To get married, M can be married. In a prominent landmark is in a, and a tor is a mountain, isn't it? So it would be a prominent landmark. Let's show you that. That comes up quite a lot. A hill or a rocky height. Glastonbury Tor might be an example of a prominent landmark. So M in a tor is south of NO, New Orleans originally, and that gives us the letters we need. So let's have a look at 20 across. Mathematical expressions only half written down in class. Well, I want that to be form, but mathematical expressions. Oh, well, formula. Yes, that would be right, wouldn't it? Formulas. They would be mathematical expressions. If we only write down half of them, we get the word form, and form is class. Form is also temporary, but class is permanent. Let's have a look at 21 down. This could cause rustiness, oxidization or something. In old worker, say, after 11 days. 11 days? What? 11 days? What's that? Oh, yes, okay. So it is something to do with... Oh, oxidant, then. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's brilliant. Again, this could cause rustiness in old worker, say, after 11 days. Yeah, it's oxidant. How do I get this? Well, I was trying to think of what... My initial thought, just to tell you what it was, it's bobbins. It's absolute nonsense. But I was trying to think of why oct from October. How could I justify that, you know, October is a month with 31 days, so 11 31ths of the word October. Could that be viewed as OCT? It's absolute nonsense, but it isn't that. What instead it is 11 days. Well, the Roman numeral for the number 11 would be X, which is 10, and I, which is 1, so that's 11. Days can be D, so XID is 11 days. And in old worker, say, old can be O, and a worker, say, well, an ant. You might have heard of a worker ant, so ant is an example of a worker. That's why say is in the clue. So old worker, O ant. Well, O, so let's do it very slowly, actually, because it does... The constructor has to tell you exactly how the clue works. So this could cause rustiness. An oxidant could. In is here being used as an equal sign. O for old. Worker, say, well, an ant is an example of a worker, and that goes after 11 days. XID is how it fully breaks down. Now, the bad thing about oxidant is look at these checking letters we've got in these crossing entries. Absolutely useless. So, let's... 22 down. Should we try and do that cold? Let's give it a go. Force European to stand in for a year in an English resort. Oh, goodness. Force, compel. European to stand in for a year. I mean, I don't... We have to... I think what we've got to do here, and I'm not sure... This is not going to be the efficient way of solving this, but can we think of a 6-letter English resort, like Blackpool, or Morecambe, or... Oh, there's one beginning with C that I am trying to remember, and I'm failing, which has a Y in it. That's what I want to do. something like something sands, camber sands. No, because then European can be abbreviated to E. So if this is a 6-letter word, which means force, then E could stand in for Y, a year. Y could be abbreviated to I mean, really, it would have to be standing in for AY, actually. Because this A, let's look at this A. This constructor is very good. So I don't think this clue would have this A in it unless we were replacing AY in an English resort with E for European. That's what I think. And the reason I say that is, let's read the clue again, but without this A in it. Force European to stand in for year in an English resort. It means the same thing as force European to stand in for a year in an English resort. So that A is not necessary for the wording, for the clue to make sense in an English way. So it must be It must be specifically necessary for the wordplay, is what I think. Now, so if there wasn't, there isn't, I don't think. But imagine there was an English resort which was that followed by L, compel. Then the clue would make sense, because compel does mean to force. Force. 6-letter word for force that isn't compel, and that's all my brain now can think of. Oh, I shouldn't have looked at this one first. Let's try 24 across. Mass evacuation following company disturbance. Mass evacuation. Eviction. Mass can be M. F equals MA. That was right. That's come back to me from physics a long time ago. So mass evacuation. Need a short word for evacuation then. Following company. Well, company is very often CO. Sorry, my phone is buzzing, but I'm wondering if this could start COM then. Disturbance is a disturbance. It's a real commotion. It's an vacuum. That's how it's more toilet humour. It is. That's how it's quite funny. It's okay. So what we've got here is CO for company, M for mass, and a bowel motion. If you evacuate something, you could evacuate. Yeah, you've got the idea. That's very funny. But yeah, on a Friday morning, who would have thought of it? Anyway, and a disturbance is a commotion, and that does coerce. Oh, I like coerce. If you force something, you coerce it. Now, how does that work? No, it doesn't, does it? I don't think. An English resort. I'm just trying to take the E's out of there and replace them with AYs, but I don't like it. Okay. It was an idea. Let's try 26. Computer modeler and designer. What? Computer modeler and designer. That's a terrifying clue. Because it makes me think I need to know the name of somebody who is or was a computer modeler. And I mean, if there are 2 weak points, I mean, and there are many, many weak points in my brain, but, you know, designers, not great at designers. Anyone who knows me will know that my fashion sense is, well, I think profound, but others would say unusual. Certainly, the number of designer things I own is de minimis. Computer modeler. What? Computer. PC is a computer. Mac is a computer. Modeler and designer. I don't know. What on earth is that? It could be a designer as in sort of an architect, but that's also not an area I would consider a speciality. Let's try this one. Riot in court compound is initiated by judge. Okay, I've got this one. And it's another brilliant clue. So, you know, you read the surface of the clue, and to me it would suggest that there's a court compound, you know, which is something to do with the Old Bailey, perhaps, in which there was a riot and it's been initiated by a judge. It's not that. We have to. The definition here is riot in court, but we have to think about that cryptically. And in a sort of olden days, if you were in King Arthur's court, who might be the riot there? It might be the court jester. How does it work? Well, J can be abbreviated to judge, and a compound, a chemical compound, is an ester. So ester is initiated by J for judge to give jester the riot in the court. Oh dear. What's this then? Computer modeler and designer. What? I don't have a clue what this is getting at. A designer is a... It would help if I could get 22 down, wouldn't it? But that's... Oh, look, ephemera or something looks quite good there. Oh, we're going to have to go back over here and not remember that we thought this was tomography. My photo. Okay, well that's got a lot of the letters of tomography in it. How is it working if it is tomography? My photo is clearly part of an anagram. Grania. T-O-M-O. G-R-A has to somehow be... turned out grania with a mobile imaging technique. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure tomography is the answer. Oh, look, that would give us an H here as well. Wow. Okay, let's try and get to this honestly, though, which is not to write in tomography, which I still don't actually understand, but get it by getting check letters, which would have allowed us to come up with the answer. Entrance to house, new for one delivering gift. Donee, one delivering a gift. Entrance to house. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. That always worries me. New for one. A foyer is an entrance to a house. New for one. Delivering a gift. I think... I haven't got this, obviously. I think we're looking for a 5-letter word for an entrance to a house. And then we're going to put into that word an N for new, instead of an I for one, is what I would guess. And that will deliver us, it will equal a word which is a gift. But it might be a cryptic meaning of gift, like a talent or something, rather than a present. Now, all that said and done, what is the word we're looking for? I don't know. Okay, let's move on to... Let's try that one. Film buff, is that a cinophile or something, or cinephile? Second contender. To collect, for example... Oscar. Film buff. Is it something like a cinephile, isn't it? It might be some slight variant on that spelling. Second contender. I see there's no... Actually, I don't like that. It doesn't have any of the components of the wordplay that one would expect in a cryptic clue. Oh dear. Let's try 23 now. Contrary lad concluding early medical discharge. Oh, goodness. See, contrary lad concluding early makes me wonder whether we need a 6-letter word for a boy or a lad, which is concluded early, so it's only 5 letters, and we treat that contrarily, so we turn it upside down. A medical discharge, is that sebum or something, or room? I'm wondering about that. No, that's horrible. No. Sebum? No. Medical discharge. It could be any number of unpleasant things. Oh dear. Contrary lad concluding early. Oh, I don't know. Wow. I've come to an absolute stone cold halt here. South African nurses nitpick on emptying small potty. We've got more toilet references. South African nurses nitpick on emptying small potty. I mean, these clues are so good. I have to say that. I mean, yeah, some of the wording of these clues it's really clever. Oh, I haven't looked at this. This has got I've got a C at the beginning. Put out daughter's head of cabbage in rubbish. Put out daughter's head of cabbage in rubbish. Put out. Evict daughter's head of... What on earth is this? In rubbish. Put out daughter's head of cabbage in rubbish. I mean, what I draw... Cross. I've got it. God dear. I mean, that is really hard as well. So, okay. The way I got this was this daughter apostrophe S head of cabbage I saw could be a substitution. What do I mean by that? Well, let's imagine that rather than this apostrophe S, we wrote out is. Daughter is. Daughter is head of cabbage. What could that mean in a cryptic way? Well, if you know that D is a valid abbreviation for daughter, which I do, then it could be read as daughter D is C, which is the head letter of the word cabbage. So we're looking at a substitution of a C for a D in the word rubbish. Now, a 5-letter word for rubbish that has a D in it is dross. And if the daughter in the word dross is a C instead for the head of the cabbage, it becomes the word cross. And if you are put out, you are cross. And yes, that is ludicrously difficult. But we have got it. So, so that puts a complete kibosh on my cinephile idea. Let me just see if I mean, it's obviously wrong, but I just want to see if my brain was misleading me. Is there a word cinephile? A devotee of the cinema? I mean, that's so unlucky to come up with a 9-letter word and it not be right for film buff. Second contender. Oh, moviegoer or something then. Second is a moment, which could be mo. And if you contend, you vie for something. Yeah, I like moviegoer, actually. Now, I've just got to check that we're right with the... So, how does it work? So, film buff, apostrophe S. Film buff is, so the apostrophe S is doing the job of the equal sign. Second is a mo. Give me a mo. Give me a second. That's synonymous. A contender is a vier, V-I-E-R, I would suggest. Oh, no, V-R, it is V-I-E-R, but it's V-I and then this E-R. And that leaves ego in the middle. For example, e.g., And O is the international radio word or abbreviation for Oscar. If somebody said Oscar on the radio, they would mean O, wouldn't they? So moviegoer is right. This still looks like I'm going to have to try and work out why this is ephemera, which I thought was a plural. I thought it was, if things are ephemera, I thought that they were short-lived. Takes an age. An age is an era, so one quickly passes on. Let's assume somehow that that is defined by ephemera. First show of Edinburgh. Oh, that could be E, the first showing of the word Edinburgh. The fringe of something is the hem of it. After parking, P for parking, takes an age. So ephemera is justified by the wordplay. So I'm not changing that, but I thought it was a plural. Ephemera. Oh no, it's not. I'm just wrong. Look at that. An ephemera. I don't know why I thought that. Well, I'm just ignorant. That's the problem. It's an insect which lasts a very short amount of time. So one quickly passes on, one quickly dies. Okay, ephemera is clearly justified. Tomography, when we're ignoring the possibility of. Well, have we looked at 19 down? No. Okay, we have to try and ignore the fact this begins with M. It could drive many people mad. Missing out on promotion. Challenging in vain. Oh, it could drive many people. This clue writing is sublime. So it's so natural for me to read that as it could drive many people mad. But if we cut the word mad off, it could drive many people. Oh, okay, a minivan. Now why? Mad, missing out on promotion. Oh yeah, okay, so the word mad, if the word an ad is an advert or a promotion. So if the word mad misses out on the word ad, it just becomes the word M, and that then if we challenge the letters of in vain, we might anagram them, and that's what happens next. And that gives us minivan, which is something that could drive many people. This is absolutely brilliant. Let's try 17 down. Distress caused by brief violent behaviour, aggro or something. One evening. Distress, aggrieve. Aggro is definitely violent behaviour. Brief aggro would be AGGR. One, oh yeah, one, and then an evening is an eve, as in Christmas Eve, Christmas evening. So aggrieve is right. Distress. Right, okay, so I'm putting tomography in, but I will not move on. Well, I will try not to move on until I understand it. So my photo turned out M-my P-H-O-T-O. So we're left with G, R and A to justify. Grania. Unless GR could be an abbreviation for grania. That can't be, can it? Mobile imaging. My photo turned out, or my photo turned out grania with A. Oh, good. I've got it. Goodness me. This is, again, it's incredibly clever, but it's so difficult to pass this at speed. I'm sorry it's taken me a while, but Okay, the way this works is turned out is not an anagram indicator. We have to turn out the word grainier, i.e. throw out its middle. And if we do that, we're left with just the G and the R, the first letter and the last letter. So we then have a string of letters which are my photo, GR and A with A. And that series is treated in a mobile way. So mobile is doing the anagramming, and that the whole clue, the definition, is imaging technique, not mobile imaging technique. And that gives us tomography. Wow. Okay. Oh, donor would fit again. Oh, door then. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought this was a substitution. Entrance to a house is door. New. Hang on. Entrance to house is a door. New for one. Delivering gift. One delivering a gift would be a donor. Yeah, Lord Ali doesn't fit. So, entrance to house. New for one delivering gift. New. Entrance to house. Sorry, I mean, I'm doing an appalling job. I think that's donor, but I can't explain it. And that's not the point of these things at all. I keep trying to put entrance to house as a door but then there has to be something that says to me, put N in the middle of that. And there isn't. Because the only way the answer is donor is if the definition is one delivering a gift. Not if it's just gift. Gift does not mean donor. Entrance. I don't know. Let's see if D is right in 23 down. Contrary. Lad concluding early. Oh, medical discharge again. Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, I don't know what that is. Okay, but can we get this? Oh, the South African nurses again. They're nitpicking about emptying the small potty still. I mean, South African, could that be the definition here? I don't think so. But there are a lot of sort of South African tribes which have a variety of unusual names. South African could be SA, perhaps, or even ZA, perhaps. Nurses. Nitpick on emptying. Okay, if you empty the word nitpick, you would get NK, wouldn't you? I'm wondering if oh, bonkers. I've got it. Bonkers. I mean, that's even a word I use, and I couldn't see it. I even thought of boer for South African, but I couldn't see how it worked. But bonkers is right. So potty is the definition, not referring to a place that a child would go to the toilet, but in fact, potty is in mad or bonkers. Very British word. So South African is boer, B-O-E-R. That is nursing. It is looking after. It is surrounding. It's cosseting, coddling. NK, nitpick, which has been emptied. And S for small on a t-shirt label, we would have no problem with understanding. That gives us bonkers. So what is this then? D-mob is all I'm thinking of, but that's not a medical Oh, if you discharge... Oh, hang on. If you discharge somebody from the army, you demobilise them, you would demob. So why is demob right? Contrary lad concluding early. Early medical. Yeah, because we've got to be careful now. If it is demob, the word medical is part of the wordplay. Contrary lad. Concluding, medical could be MED, couldn't it? So boy, right. Contrary lad is, so a boy is a synonym for a lad. If that's treated in a contrary way, it is reversed. It concludes early, therefore we chop off its Y, and then we add to that MED, which is a valid abbreviation for medical, and that whole thing is treated in a contrary way. The whole thing is reversed. So BOMED gives demob, and this is donor then, but I don't know why. Entrance to house. Oh no, okay. It's just entrance, is it? So I've got hung up on entrance to house. But how about instead we just read it as a word for an entrance? Well, an entrance to anything is a door. Forget about the house part of it. But that houses, that looks after N for new, and that gives donor, which that was much easier than I was making it. But we have got it, and all we've got left to do, I'm just checking the pangrammatic qualities of this. That could be a jostle or something. No. Force. European. To stand in for a year. So it looks like this is a 7-letter word ending AY, which is an English resort. Something Bay or something. Pool Bay. It's not that. Cork Bay. That's not an English resort. If it was something Bay, that would be a B. And this would have to mean force. Oh, I don't really like that. The B here is not very nice, is it? And then I've got the computer modeler and the designer here. Computer modeler. There is some abbreviation for like computer modeling. It's CDT or something. Computerized. CAD. Computer aided design. No, I don't think that's right. A designer. Yeah. Computer modeler. What? I don't understand. I mean, it looks for all the world just like a quick crossword clue, doesn't it? Computer modeler and designer. You've got to think of a name of somebody who's a computer modeler and designer. But how can you read this in a cryptic way? Well, the only cryptic way I could think of would be if it was a word for a computer modeler and separately a word for a designer. And if those things are true, who is it? And is it a proper name? Computer modeler and designer. Okay, let's go back to this one. I mean, I think this one is horrific though. Force. If you force something, you compel it, Oh, I don't know. Come on, Simon. European. European, there are some short synonyms for Europeans, like Pole, P-O-L-E, for example. But I think here it is just going to be E. E stands in for AY in an English resort. So all I've got to do is think of an English resort that is, I think, 7 letters long. And Torbay? No. Torquay. Gah, that's it. There's a Q. But we haven't got a J. Have we? Have I missed a J? So so I was on the right lines. It's Torquay. Which might... It wasn't that. What do you expect I see out of a Torquay hotel window? Herds of sweeping wildebeest. Basil Fawlty. We're probably not allowed to like Basil Fawlty anymore, but I have to confess I did love Fawlty Towers. Talk. So Torquay with E for AY. And now what's this? Quant then? A computer modeler, is it? Oh, I see. In Quant, Mary Quant, wasn't she a designer? Oh, well, I mean that is, yeah. I mean, the fact I couldn't think of a designer is no surprise to anybody, and least of all me. But there we go. I think that is the answer. What a puzzle that is. Let's see. Submit without leaderboard. I certainly wasn't racing. Well, we got it right. And actually, I take some comfort from that. That was bonkers difficult. Just a brilliant, brilliant puzzle. Really, I would say unusually brilliant. The surface reading of the clues is spectacularly good. And many of them were very difficult to pass. Oh, okay, sorry, there's a J there. It is a pangram. Why couldn't I see that? So let's just check. Have we got it? Yeah, we've got B, C, D, E, must have an F somewhere. Yeah, F, G, H, I, J, K. Where's K? Have we got K? We must have somewhere. Where are you, Mr. K? K and bonkers, there it is. L, yeah. M, N, O, P, we must have a P. Yeah, ephemera's got a P. Q, R, S, T. I mean, it's pangrammatic, isn't it? I just want to check now. Sorry, I'm going to just carry on. There must be a U. Where's the U? Oh, there. Yeah. U, V in minivan. I remember seeing that. W in seaweed. X, Y, and Z. Yeah, X. Where's the Y? I'm sure there's a... Oh, thirsty. Yeah, there it is. It's a pangram. Brilliant. Wow, what a puzzle. Okay, this is going to be a long video, but I will have a quick race on the quick cryptic if you don't mind. I do enjoy this part of the video as well. So I'm not going to give much commentary here. I'm going to try and redeem myself for being slow on that one. Here we go. Spend long time in corridor. Don't know. Break urn with male figure. That's an anagram. Numeral is the answer to that. Strangely rude pet. Broke out. Erupted. Another anagram. Occupy during routine. In something. Don't know. That is, you know, drive, you urge. Evacuation, authorization. Stop white ant swallowing stadium. Don't know. Fasten a cord, edge. Clip. C-lip. Sketch unpopular series of descendants as an outline. Government of army unit lacking time. Don't know. Something to fill gaps when mammal and insect meet. Don't know. More inflexible. Sterner, I suppose. Right. Press release by European, lavish and bold. Oh, goodness. Don't know. Runner is more complacent, crossing line. Smuggler. A lieutenant is an alto. Goal. Jars. amphora or something, isn't it? Something like that. Some ludicrous construction. Crustacean head of classy pub rejected is a crab. Letter opener is the answer there. Finding fault serious. Don't know. Headpiece worn by the French. Peer. Nobleman, is it? Knob. It's a head. Noble. Piece is a man in chess. Warns beer. Alerts, I think. Wood plate a knight holds. Teak. Hidden. Heads of ogle if you prefer. Okay, spend. Pass age. Inhibit then, is it? Or inhabit, occupy, inhabit, yes. Evacuation, clearance. Stop. Terminate, I think. Regimen, presumably. I don't know what that is. What's this then? Pre-something. PR, press release by European. Lavish and bold. Perfunctory or something. Oh, come on. Why can't I get this? Prior by European, lavish and bold. Sumptuous it is. Presumptuous. See, I don't know now whether that's a U. I'm so bad at spelling. Sumptuous. Let me just look at that. No, it looks wrong. Oh, I haven't done this one. Finding fault serious. If something is serious, it is extremely clinical. I don't know. Something to fill. Sealant would fill gaps. So is this clinical then? Criminal. Finding fault. Is this criminal or clinical? Serious. If something is serious, is it clinical really? If something is serious, is it criminal? Could be. Critical is the answer. It's none of those things. What an idiot. Is that right? Oh no, I did spell it wrong. No. What a moron. Oh my goodness, this is just a terrible edition. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Oh goodness. Oh, some other people look like they may have misspelt it as well. I wonder if the comments refer to spelling one down. I slipped it. Oh look, somebody else has done it. Criminal negligence. Oh, somebody else went for criminal rather than Simon Chillingworth. I think I want to say maybe got to the final of the Times Crossword Championship before. Very good. Oh look, Tom Stubbs even. I don't often make a simple spelling mistake, but I did with one day. Oh well, that's made me feel better. So let's look up presumptuous. Let's hope that we never have to. Presumptuous. I even thought about it and then thought it looked wrong. Oh dear, oh dear. Wasn't there a word in the cryptic that I was going to look up and then didn't? Let's go back there and have a look, because I have the feeling that there was. What was the word? Ergates, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's have a look at ergates. There you go. Oh, it's a worker ant. I thought it might be a bee. Oh, I see. And it's a singular. It's a singular. It's an ant. What was the clue there? That's interesting, isn't it? Maybe the plural is the same. Oh, or ergate. Yeah, so presumably the plural of ergate is ergates. Maybe it's meant to be pronounced Ergates. Oh, it is. Look, Ergates. Goodness me. Ugh. That's, well, I mean, I hope it was an interesting episode, even if you are all laughing at me. There was a lot going on today. Much brain power was required, and I better get uploading this video because my internet speed is such that this will not be a quick process. But thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy my nonsenses, please drop a like, maybe even subscribe, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.